Christian Coleman says he can break Usain Bolt's 100-meter world record. So, can he? Welcome back to the channel, people. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, thank you for making it Peter Lloyd World. Now please go ahead, hit that subscribe button so we can continue to grow. Look, people, we're getting so close to that 10,000 subs. Hit that subscribe button. It's because of people like yourselves. Also, if you enjoy our content, please hit the like button. The algorithms absolutely love the engagement and it gets the content out, so please, and it's free, hit the like button. And finally, please leave a comment after watching this video. I often learn a lot from you. Like I said, I am astonished as to how track and field aware you all are. So leave a comment. Sometimes I agree, sometimes I don't agree, sometimes it make me laugh, sometimes it make me want to cry. And so, are you ready? Are you ready to discuss Christian Coleman's claim that he can break Usain Bolt's record? When you're ready? Yep! Good to go! Christian Coleman was born on March 6, 1996. He's an American professional track and field sprinter who competes in the 100 meters and 200 meters record. I mean, I would expect you should know this. Coleman is currently the 100 meters world champion from Doha in 2019 and should be defending that title next year in the 2022 World Championships in Oregon in the United States of America. He currently holds a personal PB of 9.76, which is, I think, well, one of the fastest times in the world in the last 2 to 3 years. Alongside Trayvon Brummel of the United States. And he has a personal best in the 200 meters of 19.85. He's also the world record holder of the 60 meters indoor with a time of 6.34. And in 2018, he was the IAAF Diamond League champion. Recently, in an interview that can be found on his YouTube channel, Christian Coleman, being interviewed by the great Atta Bolton asked him the question that I suspect many of us, well, one of the questions that many of us would want him to ask. Atta Bolton asked him in this interview, do you think that you could break Usain Bolt's 13-year-old 100-meter record of 10.58? This is the answer that Christian Coleman gave Atta Bolton to this question.
If anybody can do it, if anybody has the ability and has the capability to do it, I think it's me.
Now, the obvious question to that answer has to be, can he actually do it? I mean, 10.76 is impressive. There is no doubt. But 10.58 and 10.76 are miles apart. We all remember Usain Bolt running this phenomenal 100-meter time of 10.58. And we all have questioned whether or not this time would ever fall. Now, in 2017, in Usain Bolt's last race, his very last professional race as the world's fastest man, Bolt ended up third in this 100-meter final, behind his arch nemesis and rival, Justin Gatlin, and a young newcomer who had an amazing 2017 season by the name of Christian Coleman. Coleman won the silver medal in that 100-meter. Gatlin, the gold, and Usain Bolt, the bronze. As far as I'm concerned, this was a race that truly introduced Christian Coleman to the entire world. This was the race that got our eyes focused on the young man from the United States. Coleman then went on to have a very strong 2018 into 2019. And in the course of this, has ran some very impressive races. The truth is, He has dominated up until recently, up until about 2020. He was perhaps the most dominant force in the men's 100 meters. Not so much in the 200 meters, but in the 100 meters. Now, I can imagine the boost of self-confidence that beating a Usain Bolt should give a young athlete. I mean, if you beat the fastest man alive, the fastest man of all time, the greatest sprinter who has ever lived on this planet or any other planet that we are aware of, that should give you a massive boost. And like I said, he went into 2018 with a winning streak. He owns presently the world 60-meter indoor dash record, which was rounded down, not to 6.37, but rounded down to 6.34 as the world record. Extremely impressive time. You have to understand that one of the great things about Coleman is his starting speed. He gets out of that blocks faster than even the amazing Shelley and Fraser Price. His whole thing is about getting out of that block in the first 50 to 60 meters and then maintaining that speed. In fact, I believe his top end speed really happens in the mid race and he simply maintains that through the line. That's an amazing strength, but also a terrible weakness. For him to even consider running a 10.6, a 9.6, forgive me, he would have to get an amazing top end speed, which at this point, we don't think he has. As I said, 10.76 is extremely impressive. The other thing about him that one has to note is, like I said, that psychological boost, and he shows up on big occasions. Beating a Usain Bolt in 2017 is a big deal. And he has gone on to dominate at the World Championships in Doha in 2019. He won in a very impressive personal best in 100 meters of 9.76. And I mean, he won in a dominant fashion. He was at least 2 meters ahead of a brilliant sprinter by the name of Justin Gatlin. He absolutely dominated that race. So one of the things I always talk about when we discuss athletes is the psychological edge that one has to have, the ability to show up on big occasions. There is no doubt that on big occasions, Christian Coleman shows up. But then in 2020, Christian Coleman was banned and therefore was unable to run in the Olympics either in 2020 or in 2021 earlier this year. The reason given, the panel said, unfortunately, we see this case as involving behavior by the athlete as very careless at best and reckless at worst. The panel wrote, in those circumstances, we impose a 2-year sanction. They could have given him a 1-year ban. Now, you have to understand what happened. He was not banned for drug use. What happened is, when you are a professional athlete at this level, you have to make yourself available to be randomly tested for banned substances. And he just, on several occasions, just didn't turn up. And I think eventually the testing board, the people who deal with that, got frustrated. His argument basically seemed to have been, look, you guys tested me 14 times last year. I'm the fastest man in the world. Why do you consistently test me? And I think as a result of that, they instilled a 2-year ban. That ban was later, as you see here in Reuters. Reuters reported in April of 2021, 16th, world champion Coleman's ban reduced, but he still misses the Olympic Games. So the 2-year ban was essentially reduced to about 6 months. But it still resulted in him missing the previous Olympics, the Olympics of this year, the Tokyo 2020 Olympics, which was held in 2021. Now, one of the things that has happened because he was banned for seemingly purposefully missing, and I said seemingly because I have no proof, but it is kind of strange that he kept missing these testing appointments. One of the things that has happened is that this has tainted his career, meaning that there are people out there who say and will keep saying that, look, he didn't want to do the testing because he was using banned substance. I have no proof of that. There is absolutely no proof to corroborate that. It could just be that maybe became a little arrogant. Maybe he was just reckless. In the same interview with Atta Bolton, he said, look, I'm 25 now. I've grown up. I've learned that I was being reckless. I was 23 at the time when I made these silly decisions, and it hurt me. And he seems to express that he really regretted not getting the opportunity to run in 2021. Of course, the pandemic in 2020, that couldn't have happened. So let's discuss this. Bolt's record is 9.58 people. 9.58. Now, it's really hard to explain to people how fast that really is. I mean, you have to understand that there was a point in medical history where they thought it was not possible for any human being to run anything close to that speed, and he has run 9.58. Coleman's best time at this point is 9.76. Blake came closest in terms of the 100-meter time, and Blake's time is far more impressive than 10.76. So in terms of him getting to that time anytime soon, I'm not sure if that's even a possibility or plausible. Secondly, as I stated, he's great getting out of the blocks. He's fast, but he does not seem to have that top end speed that makes you move away. You know, like he gets into that drive, he gets out of the blocks really fast, gets into his drive phase, and I think his drive phase basically is his top speed. That's it. And he just manages to maintain that speed and to get out ahead of everyone else. Now, clearly, this has worked for him in the past because, like I said, between 2018 and 2019, he was the premier male sprinter on the planet. He really was. Like, I won't argue that statement. He dominated and dominated quite easily. But I think for you to even attempt to run a 10.65 people, a 10.65 or a 10.7, you have to have top end speed, and Coleman has not demonstrated that to me as yet. As I said, he's really fast out of that blocks. As I said, 10.76 is very impressive. As I've stated, he turns up on the big occasions. He handles the pressure, unlike, I think, a Trayvon Bromell, who seems to, and I'm not being disparaging to young Trayvon Bromell, but Trayvon Bromell, again, was terribly injured, and people know what I say about injury and athletes. But Coleman turns up on those big occasions. Also, I think this will be the third point. Beating a Usain Bolt gives you as an athlete a massive psychological boost. Whether it's 19, it happened in 1910, or it happened in 2017. You beat Usain Bolt. Yes, Usain Bolt was not at his best, but that gives you a huge psychological boost, especially at such a young age. Yeah, and his confidence in believing that he could actually break this record is an important factor. That's something that an athlete has to have. I do believe that him coming back into the sport is going to make 2022 very, very interesting. I want to see him lined up against a fit Tajay Gale. I unlike some of you, I believe an oblique Seville is going to be amazing in 2022. I think Jamaica is going to have a very strong male squad in 2022. I want to see how he fares against the Olympic champion Marco from Italy. So I think he has all the ingredients, but the problem is the statistics doesn't add up. People, 9.76 and 9.58 are worlds apart. That's not an exaggeration. They are literally worlds apart. The person who's come closest to it that we are aware of is Johan Blake. And that time is 9.69, which he holds, by the way, with Tyson Gay of the United States. And even that time is far away from 9.58. Look, Coleman is 25 years of age. He's young. I don't know of any major injuries. But like I said, until I can see that top end speed that he currently doesn't have. He has that great get out of the blocks thing. He has that great drive phase, but I don't see that top end speed. He would have to be working on that immensely. And like I said, people, yes, he has that psychological edge of having beaten a Usain Bolt. Yes, he turns up on big occasions. Yes, he is used to winning, unlike a Bromell. he won for like 2018 into 2019. He was the man to beat. He was dominant. But I'm going to say this again, people. 10.76 and 10.58 have nothing to do with each other. They are literally planets apart. And I know it might not seem that way. Even the remarkable 10.69 run by Johan Blake and of course Tyson Gay, which is phenomenally fast, is not anywhere close to 10.58. So in conclusion, anything is possible. I love the fact that he's confident. He's a winner. He's used to winning. He's young. He's got that great start but lacks the top end speed. I think he'd have to change up somehow a bit of how he runs. His coaches have to work on that top end speed so that when he hits that drive face, he actually goes faster. And he only maintains through the last 10 meters and not the last 50 meters or 60 meters, 40 meters of the race. But again, finally, I just have to say this, 10.76 and 10.58 are worlds apart in track and field, people. They are so far apart, it's unreal. I admire his tenacity. I admire his belief in himself. And it is nothing is impossible. So I'm not going to say a resounding no, but I'm going to say a resounding is unlikely. Maybe in time, it's not impossible. And if he has great competitors, if a Brummel gets to where he needs to be, if a Curly is where he should be, if a Oblique Seville, which I really think is going to get up there, if a Sachin Dennis, if a Tajay Gale, and I really think people Jamaica is going to have an amazing male team in 2022, contrary to what you all think. If he's pushed, maybe it's a possibility, but at this point, I think it's unlikely. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. I really want to hear your thoughts on this. Do you think that he has any chance of breaking Usain Bolt's 10.58 100-meter world record, which is now 13 years old? As always, please hit that subscribe button so we can continue to grow. We're getting very quickly to that 10,000 subs. We're going to have something special for you when we hit the 10,000. Also, when you hit the subscribe button, go inside and hit that notification bell so you can get great content. We do this roughly every single day of the week. Also, hit the like button because, as I explained to you, the algorithms absolutely love the engagement. It's really, really important. It gets the vlogs out. Share the vlogs if you really like them. Go ahead and check out our other content. I think you'll enjoy it. And leave a comment. I mean, I really want to know what you think. Listen, I try to be as unbiased as possible. Yes, I'm Jamaican, but I want us to be fair in our assessment. Let me know, do you think Christian Coleman of the United States can possibly break Usain Bolt's 13-year-old 100-meter world record? Do you think it's possible? I think it's highly unlikely, but I'm not going to say it's impossible because nothing is impossible. But it's unlikely to me. It's a big unlikely to me, people. I want to hear your thoughts and your opinion. Stay away from negative people. Remember, you are kings and queens. Believe in yourselves. Try to remain positive in the worst of times. And as always, bless up. Yeah.